Welcome back, everybody. This is Something Like a Podcast, episode 23, and I'm Alan Swolm.
And I am RM. I wanted to start by something that we said on the last episode when we were talking about Los Angeles, and we were talking about it's the city of the fallen angel, which I'm not taking that back, but I don't want it to be a blanket statement because there's a lot of people who live in LA who go to work just like we do.
Yeah, and they're good people.
And they're good people. I was talking about the Hollywood elites. So these are the people with power who are doing this devilish stuff. So I don't want people to listen to that one episode and they're living in LA. No, we're not talking about you. You are just like us. You have a 9 to 5. You're struggling to make ends meet. But we're talking about the people who run stuff out there, Hollywood, who have the power to crush careers and all that stuff.
Yeah, which is right. Like I said last episode, that's facts. These Hollywood people they run the whole state, seems like sometimes, because of, again, we all know Kobe Bryant was murdered. We have, it doesn't make sense. There's evidence that we discussed on the Kobe Bryant episode that you could tell that there was foul play involved because you got a pilot that's 10,000 hours.
Yeah, and then they came out and said there's no sign of engine failure. And they're keeping a lot of stuff secret. So that tells you there was some foul play.
There's foul play with this.
But
that cost not only him, but 8 other people their life.
Yeah, 8 other people. But kind of expanding off that, and I wasn't even going to talk about this, but why not?
Why not?
So Snoop Dogg, do you know who Gayle King is?
Sounds familiar, but I don't know what he does.
Oh, it's a woman.
It's she.
So
okay.
Oprah has a friend, Gayle King, and she works for a news outlet, and I think she does like interviews and stuff like that. So there's a basketball player, Lisa Leslie, which she played for the Los Angeles Sparks. I think we touched on this before.
Yeah, WNBA.
Yeah, and she was like top of the line. She's like, one of the greatest of all time. And she was a good friend of Kobe Bryant. So Gayle King had an interview with Lisa Leslie, and for some reason she felt it necessary to bring up Kobe's past.
Yeah, we did.
We're not going to. Okay, so we talked about that a little bit.
Yeah, we did. We touched on it.
So after all of that, Snoop came out, which he should, because I did it on social media too, and ripped Gayle King a new one.
Good stuff.
Okay, but when we talk about the Hollywood elites and the people with the power, and they have the strength to take your career away.
Oh, take you out.
Yes.
To supposedly kill you, basically.
Okay. You have to understand, when we talk about this dynamic between men and women, and mostly it's black men and women because for some reason we're pit against each other. All these people came to Gayle King's defense. Not for what she said. She never apologized for saying, that stuff about Kobe.
She shouldn't have
because you're disrespecting Kobe's wife,
the rest of his family.
The rest of his, and everyone who, loves Kobe. And something that I said before that I do want to take back, Kobe was never convicted of a crime. So he never went to jail. Everything was settled out of court. So he's not a convicted rapist. Okay. So you bring that up. Now the backlash comes. You know it's going to come because, again, you have offended a lot of people.
But you did. But why didn't you say that when he was alive? Why say it to his face?
Yeah, okay.
That's
okay. And we talked about that. So now she's facing all this backlash. So what does she do? I'm scared for my life.
Well, you asshole. You shouldn't have freaking said that.
You have to understand. And then Oprah comes out and she's crying now. My friend, she's scared that people are sending her death threats. And I'm looking through all of this stuff. I'm just looking through
just
it
shut the hell up.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you guys are just playing this. So then it's a person who's in like this high position in politics. And she comes at Snoop. Back the F off. If you know what's blah, blah, blah. And what does Snoop do?
It's Snoop, so we can tell what he's going to do.
Well, what you think and what really happened are two different things.
Okay.
He apologized. So a lot of people are coming at Snoop saying he shouldn't have apologized because he did the right thing by sticking up for Kobe and his family, because the question that she asked was inappropriate.
I would not apologize. I said I stick with my statement.
Okay.
You didn't say this to this man's face when he was alive. How could be his best friend? Now that he's gone,
okay,
you're going to go ahead and throw stuff in his face that is so disrespectful.
Right.
Not only to him, but to his wife, the rest of his daughters,
right,
his mom and dad, everybody, and anybody that followed him throughout. Because, like you said, he was never convicted of a crime, even though that he was accused and convicted is two different things.
It's two different things. But here's where it gets interesting. And we were just talking about when you go against people with high status, you have to understand Oprah has money and she's got power. Now, she might not flaunt it, but behind the scenes, she knows a lot of people. So one thing I did post on there, as I said, it's so weird that when someone comes to someone's defense, then you want to start pulling their stuff out of their closet.
Because it sounds like to me that reason why Snoop apologized was because he has some cuts in his closet that he didn't want to come out. But it doesn't matter.
Right.
But why would you? But at the end of the day, I would not retract my statement. Especially, I would have kept saying, "Hey, you guys can do what you want. This is how I feel." She was wrong for saying that.
Now, when we talked about Terry Crews the last episode, we were talking about he's going to not say certain things because he doesn't want to jeopardize his career.
Exactly.
Snoop has done some things in his past I'm not going to bring up on the show.
I know a couple of them, but we're not going to discuss that on the air.
But I kind of seen that was what was going to happen. So no one knows what prompted Snoop to apologize. Now, he didn't apologize for coming at her or defending Kobe. He apologized for the way he did it because he called her bees and a horse face, and he was just kind of really coming at her.
That I can understand, but I see people come up with, if you called her name, and if you would have kept it, came out in a different way, you was wrong. That was a two-faced move. Instead of saying that you're a bitch, you're a hoe, da-da-da-da. Right. If he would have just, that was his mistakes. So I agree with the fact that he did apologize. The people that, shut up, because he should never call you should never call somebody a bitch or whore.
So that's understandable.
Yeah.
So at the end of that, Snoop said, "We're coming for you." But he didn't mean it in a violent way. He was just talking about social media. If you keep continuing to do this, social media is going to come for you. But they took it and spun it like he was going to actually physically come for them. That's why she's crying now, talking about, "I'm afraid of my life."
Another thing, he should have said that. He should have worded. I get why he was upset. I understand that he was really upset, but the way he worded it, he put himself in a tough position. Again, he called out all these names, and then now he's getting backlash because he apologized. A lot of people sided with him, but you got some people that was in her corner was like, "Really, dude? Really?"
But that's the point I'm getting to. So the person who's in high status, I forget her name, but she was saying the same thing. "Oh, we're going to come for you." And I think she means that community of women, the LGBT or whatever, are going to come for Snoop. Snoop has a show with Martha Stewart. Oprah has power and influence. Who's to say Oprah didn't call up and say, "Look, if Snoop doesn't apologize, we're going to pull all this shit off the shelf." So next thing you know, he's coming out and he's exactly. So I think that's very important for people who get into show business. You know what you're getting into. It's almost like climbing into a spider's web.
This is what you're doing, basically. You're signing your life over, if you think about it.
Yeah. I want to move off of that.
Yeah, let's talk about something different.
I wanted to talk about Joel Embiid for a second.
Okay.
People are coming at Joel Embiid for reasons I do understand. So let me take that back. Joel Embiid has not been playing the way he should have been playing.
They're not living up to that contract that the 76ers signed him to.
Okay, but when we talk about players just people in general, not just players, but fans and radio announcers and all those people being fickle. So when you're on top, they're praising you, but when you have a few bad games, they want to tear you down. So I remember when Joel Embiid went back to Toronto. You remember the last time he was in Toronto last year, what happened? Kawhi Leonard put him out. All right. So this year, everybody suspected, okay, Joel Embiid's coming back to Toronto. He's got to have this monster game because of the way he was took out. But he goes there and he's like 0 for 11. And okay, he had a terrible game, but nobody said nothing. No one said anything. Two nights ago, Joel Embiid had a terrible game. Shaq and Charles Barkley ripped him a new one. He's a little baby. He's soft. He's always crying. He's weak. They said the 76ers have a lot of talent, but they're weak physically and mentally. So what happens? Did the 76er fans come and rally behind their team?
Hell yeah.
No.
What?
They're booing them now.
What?
Yeah, so they booed Joel Embiid, and they're kind of getting on this bandwagon of he's soft. But you didn't say that the last time.
Yeah, so that's kind of...
So this is my point, though. When you have high-status people like a Shaq or a Charles Barkley who say something, then everybody else jumps on the bandwagon. The reason I brought this up is because there was a radio team out in Philadelphia. and they were going way too hard on Embiid. He's overweight. No, they didn't just say overweight. He's fat. He's lazy. Get him out of here. We don't want him. And that's what prompted me to kind of talk about this. I don't understand where it's people who've never played, and you can look at these people and see they've never played sports.
They don't got a lick of talent in the world.
Okay, but then you want to tear somebody else down.
Because of you just, at the end of the day, it's like you listen to two people on freaking television that sometimes don't know the ass from the hole in the ground. Obviously, he has talent. He won't be in the NBA for one.
Exactly.
The second of all,
he's an all-star too.
He is an all-star. Second of all, he's human. He's not going to have bad. He's going to have good games. He's going to have bad games. Example goes with anything that you do nowadays. I'm not putting myself in this. So I'm saying this. For example, even when you're gaming and stuff like that, you're gonna have bad games.
Yeah.
You're gonna have bad. It goes with anything that you do, professionally, hobbyily, anything that you do, anything that you play, anything that you do. You're gonna have game. Like, be times I go to work, I don't want to do jack. Sometimes I come in there and I work the whole entire shift. It's
you have off days.
Yes, basically he had 2 off games.
Yeah, but I think they were more concerned about Joel Embiid's not taking the game seriously. Then when he wins, he's all up in your face. But when he loses,
but you don't know that unless you have evidence to point.
But I'll say this. I'll say this. You can kind of see it in some of the videos. When he loses, he takes it hard. But no matter whether you win or lose, you're supposed to be the same person.
I agree.
Okay. So that's why they're coming at him. But what happens that same night, the same day the fans booed him, the same day these radio people are coming out telling him to get
shut up.
He busts ass. And what happens? Oh, Embiid, we love you.
You fake ass, you fake ass bitches.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because it's like, for example, though, like if some of these Philadelphia fans, I'm not taking them back. I mean when I say they'll fake.
Okay.
They'll fake. Okay. How you gonna stay behind your team or the players that's on that team? Again, you looking at them as they are robots, maybe that they can just go out there and play and have every good game 24/7. Again, they're human beings. They're trying their best. I get why sometimes Embiid could be a little extra.
Well, Embiid has a hurt hand right now, so that's affecting his game too.
It is. But he's playing through it. He could be a little, he could be a little baby and say like a Kawhi, like, "Oh my God, I lost a fingernail."
Yeah.
Oh.
But you get back in there
and play.
Right.
So, like I said, I disagree with what those fans say. I back Embiid 100%, even though that I don't follow 76ers like that. I back him because, for one, he's a human being, for one, even though he's a star athlete, all-star at that. Possibly could be a future MVP if he continues to develop. And again, fake ass people coming out the woodwork. MVP, sit down because you didn't support him even a day ago.
No, I'm talking about like 48 minutes ago. This is the same game. At the start of the game, they're booing him. And when they win the game and he has a good game, they're cheering him on. So that's something I can't understand.
I don't like that at all. That's fake people.
I did want to talk about Kevin Durant too. So Kevin Durant was on a radio show, and he was talking about the media and how the media bullies him, which, okay. There's 2 things that I don't understand about that, but I will say this. Kevin Durant, and I had a conversation with somebody that I used to work with, that you still work with, and he said Kevin Durant is soft. And I'm like, how is Kevin Durant soft? Well, he's always on Twitter and he's crying and complaining. I said, okay, but he gets out on the court and he still drops 40 points.
Yeah, he still busts his ass.
So what are you talking about? Okay, but I will say this. Kevin Durant has burner accounts. He has accounts where he makes up a fake name, puts up a fake picture so he can argue with people. Like, what are you doing? What are you doing?
No, that's childish. That's childish.
I mean, you don't have to do that. No. You're Kevin Durant. Be Kevin Durant on social media.
Stop hiding behind.
Exactly. Because the same thing we just talked about. These people are going to come at your neck if you say something in an interview that they don't like. Who gives a shit? Exactly. When you get on the court, you're going to prove yourself.
Talk your shit right there on the court. Don't say nothing. But at the end of the day, when you're in the limelight like that, I get why, but at the same time, you shouldn't hide behind anything. If you're that confident and you have a complaint and you want to address, especially on, you know that you have over probably 35 million followers or more on Twitter. You gotta watch what you say. But at the end of the day, is if you don't give 2 shits, why hide behind a fake account when you already put yourself in that position?
Exactly. But Nick Wright, and I'm not the biggest fan of Nick Wright. Nick Wright he's one of these people too who you could look at Nick Wright and like, you've never played sports in your life.
So shut up.
But Kevin Durant's a crybaby. He should shut up. Who bullies?
You should shut up.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. I think these people are put in these positions where they're paid to talk crap. They're paid to give their opinion.
If that's the case, then you and I should get paid for this right here, because we're talking much crap as everybody else is.
Right.
But this is not what we do this for. We do this because we love it and we enjoy sharing.
But there's another element. So whatever we do, so I played basketball in high school, and I know what it takes to day in and day out. You got practices and you bust your ass. Even if you're not getting the amount of time that you think you should, you're still out there, and it's a team sport. So for people who've never been through that, like a Nick Wright, you don't know what it takes. You don't know these day in and day outs, these practices. And we're talking about NBA players. So when they were like, 12 years old, they've done this their whole entire life.
Exactly. It's like you go with any professional sports player, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, they work from the day one when they probably was like 8, 9 years old, and they ate, sleep it, drink it, poop it, pee it, whatever, everything. They lived it, and they
blood, sweat, and tears. So who are you as a person who's never even
pick up a basketball,
thrown a football, a baseball, dribbled a basketball? You've never done any of this stuff, but you have the opinion to go out there. And it's one thing if you talk about their game. Oh, he was 2 for 14 tonight. Okay,
that's different.
Okay,
but
this
the human
call
being,
him a baby, and you're soft, and you couldn't do it.
But you're judging. That's what you're doing. I think that you're pointing your finger as again to you. That person has a lot of skeletons in their closet. So shut up, because of you probably had done some stuff in your past that you want nobody to bring up in your face.
Right.
So why are you coming at him? You could just talk about his game. That's your freaking job as a person on Sports Center. You talk about their game, not their life, not their personal life. It's you. Again, these people like to put themselves into these stars' life. Get out. You're not there. It's only for the careers.
But it makes them feel like they're important. And again, what you just said is projecting. So if you have these skeletons in your closet, if I point the finger at him, then nobody's going to look at me.
But you got 3 fingers pointing back at you, though.
But that's what it is they don't want people to look at them. So, okay, I'm going to talk bad about him. I'm going to bring up his...
But you're garbage. Like, you put out trash. And I'm not going to say I don't give a crap. Like, you're trash. You don't talk about somebody else if you don't want anybody to talk about you that way. Your job is to talk about the game. Well, they went 2 for 14 that night, 8 points. The shooting performance wasn't there. They had some good defensive plays, a couple steals, a couple blocks. But other than that, they need to. Kevin Durant needs to get better on his game and try to, just relax and take his time. That's what you should be doing right there as a freaking. Not talk about him personally.
Yes, but to all of these points that we just made, I think if you know yourself and you're comfortable with yourself and you can really look back and reflect on what you've been doing, then that wouldn't bother you, because if I wasn't a superstar, no one would care. Let's say the last player on the bench for the Lakers.
Yeah.
No one cares. No one cares if he goes out there and he shoots 0 for 10. Who cares? But let LeBron go out there and shoot 0 for 10. It's going to be everywhere.
It's going to be everywhere, but at the same time I don't like it. I don't like the fact that you want to tell somebody's
shine down. You want to throw shade on him.
Throw shade on his literally come at him in this sort of limelight. No, again, that's not your job. We have said it. You talk about the game, not the personal life. Don't come at them because of they just had a bad game. Again, these people that do that, they don't understand. The human tool, as much as you and me, we bleed red.
Right.
Seriously?
But I think it's for clicks. So let's say so if we had a podcast and all we talked about was numbers, people probably wouldn't listen to it.
Nope.
Like, this is boring. But we talk about a whole bunch of wild, off-the-wall stuff. Not to say we disrespect people.
I try to disrespect nobody, but I just, again, I say my opinion. If you don't like it, then that's fine.
I understand that.
You can disagree.
But these people don't have that level of creativity. No. So what they do is they go for shock value. Well, I'm going to bring up some negative stuff and call them this, that, and the third.
That's why I don't watch a lot of these sports shows anymore, because of the fact is that all they bring up is negativity. I'm here, again, it says on the title, sports. Yeah. Let's talk sports. That's what I'm here to watch. Again, there's people out there for like me that just like sports talk. Why are you talking about, again, somebody's past or because they bring up their past, or just talking about them negatively, but they're to talk about the game. That's what I'm there to watch a sports center, is to listen to what happened in the game. They kind of crap the bed, but let's see what they need to prove on, maybe try to lift them up. not tail them down.
Yeah, but see, and to your point, it's analyzing their game, their performance.
That's your job.
It's like,
as that.
It's not bringing up other stuff.
No.
But we're going to keep moving, and I did want to touch on something a little more interesting. Celebrity deaths.
Ooh.
And people who have faked their deaths. But see, this is a lot of speculation. Some have some evidence that you really can't look away from. And then others are coming like, okay, yeah, you're just making this. Like Elvis. People still think Elvis is alive. People still, I saw Elvis at 7-Eleven, he was getting a big gulp. No, you didn't.
Shut up.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you have so many impersonators. But this one might be interesting to you. And I saw this picture and I'm like, wow, Steve Jobs. They say Steve Jobs might have faked his death. So I see this picture. They put this picture up. They say he lives in Egypt now.
Is it possible to show the picture to the audience?
With this program I'm using, no.
Okay.
If I did it on Premiere, then yes.
Okay.
But I will just say this: look up a picture of Steve Jobs in Egypt.
Okay.
And it looks just like him. I mean, just like him.
So how did he be canceled? Because he was sick.
I don't know. But see, here another thing. And again, this is all
Impersonation.
speculation.
It could be impersonator,
I'm
too.
not going to say that.
Okay.
I mean, a impersonator, you've got to get some skin grafting done or some face
Okay.
to look just like him.
But he looked just like Steve.
Just like him.
And he had money, so it doesn't matter.
But here's my question. Who's to say this picture wasn't taken before he died? Maybe a picture that never came out. Someone got a hold of it.
I was about to
just
say, you
put
took
it
words
up
out
and
of my
say,
mouth.
Okay. But I don't know, because we've heard a lot about this before.
But why would he leave Apple? He built that company from scratch, and he put sweat, heart, and tears into it. Why would he leave a multi-billion-dollar company?
I'm gonna give you this. So it's no different than having a child, right?
Yeah.
That's his baby.
That's his baby.
Okay, so you raise your kids to a certain point, so now they can take care of themselves. The same thing. Apple is running still smoothly without him here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Maybe
who's to say that?
Wozniak knows something. Maybe corporate knows something.
You never know.
You never know.
So he's still generating money.
Obviously, he's always gonna get money.
Okay, so even if he is dead, and no disrespect.
We're not disrespecting
Yeah,
Steve
but
Jobs
this
here,
is
guys.
just something I saw, and it's interesting topic.
Yeah, it is.
So if the money is generated and he truly has passed, then it's going to go to his family.
He's gonna go to his kids and his
who knows
wife.
if he has an account set up, so all this money that's generating through the new iPhones and iPads and MacBooks and all that stuff is going into this fund. Even if it wasn't, he built enough wealth in his life where he could do that. He could just say, okay, I'm out, I'm gone.
You're right. So let's say if he did be canceled and he is still alive, and that picture didn't be taken before he got sick, or as he was sick before he started losing weight, then that's
Yeah.
that gets you to thinking, because you never saw a body. You never saw a body. But again, why would he fix his own death? Again, that was his kid. Because what happened was he had a girlfriend back in the day when Apple was starting getting big and growing, and obviously she got pregnant.
Yeah.
And he was one of those ones that didn't want to. I'm not bringing up. I'm not bringing up that. But I'm saying is. Apple. My point is, Apple is his baby. He sacrificed his family for Apple. So at the end of the day, my question is to you: why would he leave his baby that he left his family for years ago? Like you said, maybe because it's growing.
Okay, so I'm gonna put myself in the situation, and this is not to say that everybody would do this.
I'm not tearing him down, though.
No, not tearing him down.
We're not telling Steve down.
Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is this: let's say I came up with a device, whatever it is, and it was my baby, and I put in the work. I hired a few people who knew tech, and we got this to the point where it's in high demand. Everybody wants it, and I make $3 billion. I'm just worth
He was
a
worth
whole
more
bunch
than that,
of,
but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
But I'm just worth a whole bunch of money. Now this thing is just going on its own. Let's say I was the creator, and now I step back, and now I have a industry line that can just put it together.
But why would you fake your own death? Like, what's the madness about faking your own death?
Okay, so
you can stay out of the limelight, so you can go enjoy life.
Yes, and I've heard some rappers say this too. I've heard some rappers say, I just want to disappear. I remember Eminem even saying this in a song where he wants to disappear and no one knows. He does that now. Eminem doesn't come out the house. He's notorious for not coming out the house.
He can't. You got people on your doorstep.
Yeah, and
How
as
can
soon as
you?
he comes out, he can't hide. He grew a beard. You could still tell it's Eminem. No matter what you do, what clothes you put on, you're going to be recognized
Oh my
when
God,
you
it's
go out.
Eminem, guys. Let's go.
Right.
Let's go take a picture.
So if I was on that status and everybody knew my face like a Steve Jobs or Eminem or Michael Jackson or whoever,
I'm moving
I could fake my death,
for one.
move to a whole different country, and never be seen again. Okay, so with all that being said, Tupac. Now he might be the biggest out of him and Elvis. To me, are like the biggest.
I still
one.
think Tupac is still alive.
Okay.
I still think he's because the way that who he was with, Knight.
Yeah, Suge Knight.
Suge Knight, who he was with.
But see,
It
there's
was close though.
Okay, so with Tupac, there's so much evidence that supports he's still alive. Okay, now let me just give the listeners who don't know a few of these points. Suge Knight said himself. He said it himself, like a couple years after the shooting, he's in Cuba.
But he was saying, ha ha ha.
Yeah, he was kind of laughing about it, but why would you say that?
Because you know something.
There was another interview with Tupac's mom, and she was speaking about Tupac like he was still alive.
She knows.
Yeah.
She's probably the only person that probably knows that she was told to say, "Shh."
Okay. But you still haven't found the killers for Tupac. No. If I'm not mistaken, I think they did find somebody. But this happened in '96. It's 2019, 18.
I'm the detective that's supposedly working on the case, okay?
All
you
right.
and I are partners. We'll try to solve Tupac's murder. Suge Knight comes up to you and I and say, he's not really dead. This is just because he wants to disappeal. I'll throw you guys $2 million a piece because he had that kind of bank. You guys say that this guy did it. Then we said, okay, fine, okay. Now you and I got $2 million in our pockets to keep our mouth shut and to go along with
the story.
Basically.
Okay.
So I guarantee that could be
It could. Even so, they have people who have really died and they did the same thing. So someone gets killed, we got to put this on. We have to blame somebody. Okay, him. Just get him and put him in jail and he'll take the fall for it. So they'll do that even if somebody really is dead.
That too. But like I said, I'm just using that as an example. Maybe that probably what happened. Knight got hold of the two detectives that's on the case and say, because detectives don't make that much money in a year. Come up to you for $2 million to say go with this and say that hey, he did it.
Yeah.
And even though you know for a fact there's no body and you have not found a body.
I did see. I'm not gonna lie. I did see a body, which looked like Tupac. No, it's serious. I saw this. It was like 2010. Tupac was shot and killed in 96, 97, something like that.
Yeah, how would his body still be? It would be decomposed.
No, but this is the picture, I guess, like right after it happened. So it did show it, and it looked like him, but all the evidence. So Tupac went by this alias Machiavelli. Machiavelli, if you do your research, people, please do your research on Machiavelli. Machiavelli was back in maybe 1700s, and he faked his death. So you, at the time that you die, you're going to name yourself Machiavelli. His name wasn't Machiavelli when he first came out. He waited till like 95, 96 to name himself Machiavelli, and then he dies. He's putting it in your face. He's pretty much putting this in your face.
Yeah,
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
he's somewhere in Cuba. He could be somewhere in Cuba. The
They
dude's
say
still
Cuba.
making money. He's big or less.
yeah,
Suge
because
Knight
he's still selling records.
He is or less. Even though that's because your consoles is what makes you make more money. Is what you go as console. Yeah, that helps.
Yeah,
That helps. But I guarantee that Suge Knight, he's still big, isn't he? He's still.
Suge Knight is in jail, and I don't think he's ever going to get out.
Okay.
Suge Knight was convicted of vehicular manslaughter.
Oh.
Yeah, so he's probably not getting
Okay,
out.
but anyways, but he knows probably somebody that's probably sending. If Tupac is still alive,
it's
money.
nothing to set up a bank account and
No.
have money just put into the account.
Exactly, and you can make it to where you want, so nobody will
anywhere
get
you
fishy.
want. But Netflix, if I'm not mistaken, Netflix is now coming out with a documentary saying Tupac is still alive.
And they have evidence to prove it.
Yes.
Is the thing out yet?
I don't know if it's out yet, but it'll be probably before this month is out. It's going to be out.
I gotta check on that.
I want to look at it too. But I mean,
so we could talk about it. I want to talk about it on the show,
yeah,
on a future
but
episode.
I will say this. I have like a 90%, my gut's telling me Tupac is still alive.
Same.
Because there's no reason that you call yourself Machiavelli right before you die, and Machiavelli is someone who faked his death.
And still alive.
Yes.
But then you got Suge Knight said on the talk show that
yeah, it was like a little interview. It was like, yeah, Tupac's still alive.
you kind of proved your shit right there.
And then the thing, his own mom said, like, after he died, she was talking about him like...
Yeah, she was like sucked up like a mother would be.
No, it wasn't even that. It was just like, you talk about people in the past tense. And she was talking...
was good.
Yeah, she was talking about him like he's still here. Oh, you would say he would have.
Yeah.
Or he could have. No, not like... He is doing okay.
He is, yeah. She was saying,
like stuff like that.
He was, or he was this kind of a person. But you would talk like that past tense and something like that she wasn't.
But another thing about Tupac, a lot of people don't know, is that when he first came out, he was like this revolutionary. Like, he really was about social justice and things like that.
Yeah, caught up with Suge Knight.
Yes. And now he's a gangster, gangbanger, and that's not who he wanted to be. So I think his mom in that same interview was saying, like, he was looking at himself like, how did I become this? That's not who I wanted to become.
Why he was like, I want to fake my death.
Because he had people, we just talked about this with Kevin Durant and Joel Embiid. People always got to bring up some shit about you. So Tupac was going through the same stuff. They were always attacked. He's always in the news. He's always doing something wrong. So he comes to the point where it's like, you know what, it's best if I just...
disappeared.
Yeah, disappeared.
Just like a magician that you don't know.
Exactly. So here's some...
That's really interesting, guys. So that's something to check on, guys, right there. That documentary is definitely coming out on Netflix.
Yeah.
Within a month or two, I'd definitely check that out. If I was you guys, we're definitely going to go ahead and talk about it after me and RM see it.
Yeah.
And then we're going to give you guys our opinion on it. A full-blown actual opinion on it.
Okay, now here's a few celebrities who people think they faked their death, but I think they're gone. Like Michael Jackson.
Obviously.
Yeah.
People said that they saw him walking on the street after he died, supposedly.
Really?
Yeah. I don't believe that.
I'm gonna give you two parts. One part,
was he mortal? Let's start there.
Okay, so let's start there. I think a lot of people say Sony. Okay, I'm gonna give you even one better. No, listen, I'm gonna give you one better. Michael Jackson said it himself. Michael Jackson told his sister, "They're gonna kill me." So he already knew they were gonna kill him.
But what did he do?
He bought the Beatles catalog.
Okay.
And he bought some other catalogs too. Like his business sense was so far ahead of his time. We talked about this before. Most entertainers, when they get a lot of money, what do?
Wasted the money.
Yeah, he invested his. So he knew the Beatles catalog is going to be worth all this money down the road. He got his own masters back. So he's paying for all this stuff. Sony now, they want that stuff back. They want it back. So what's the easiest way to get stuff back?
Unless they probably try to talk to him and say, hey, we want this back. He said no.
Exactly.
Okay, we got to take you out.
So what they did was Michael Jackson was in debt. But Michael Jackson was still smart enough to say, okay, I'm in debt. I don't know if he was in debt with Sony or just in debt in general. But whatever case was, he said, I'm going to do this last tour. Look up the name of his last tour. It was something, I forget the name of his last tour. About. But he knew he can make all his money back off that tour and pay off all his debts. And he wouldn't have to give up the Beatles catalog and all those other things he owned. So Sony was like, oh, you think you slick?
Yeah.
We're going to take you out. Michael Jackson said it. First he told his sister. And then he said it in a press conference. He was kind of just like talking about Sony. He was talking about Sony.
That's one thing you don't do, but yeah.
And it came back on him. So what do? They blame it again on his doctor. His doctor gave him some too many drugs, like he overdosed. But that's the way they can take you out and just blame it on somebody else. So now...
syringe, poison.
Yeah, put it right in you. Put it right in you. So I do believe Michael Jackson has died. But if I want to be a conspiracy theorist, I'll say that...
maybe Sony was like, hey... we see that maybe they didn't kill him. Maybe it was like, hey, we see that you having an issue right there, my boy. You give us this catalog and give us all our rights back. We'll pay to have that done, but you need to disappear. And we can
you never know.
And they have all that money. They can do anything that they want. We'll fix your face, but you can never perform again or else.
Okay. But he's trying to be a part of something that I guess he wanted to be, but he never could be. He's the greatest entertainer in my
Obviously,
opinion of all time.
I like some of his songs. Yes.
Yeah, I think he's the greatest and highest selling. All that is
Pop.
out the window.
Well, okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on from that. I know you saying off air that you would like to talk about what Stephen A. did and what's going on with that situation. So fill me in on
Stephen A. Smith. I'm not sure. I'm kind of drawing a blank now. What did Stephen A. Smith do? It might have had to do something with the Joel Embiid thing that we already talked about. If it does come back into my mind, we'll touch on it. But I did want to talk about traffic.
Okay.
And you were talking about this on a show before about your road rage.
Yeah.
But have you ever been in rush hour gridlock traffic?
Not really bad because for one, this is Lower Delaware. This ain't New York City or Washington D.C.
Yeah.
I have gotten into bad traffic, like going to work the other day. I got cut off by a woman that didn't know where the hell she was going. But my road rage is getting better now.
Okay.
I try to again. What's for me to get mad over? It's not that serious.
Yeah.
It's not that deep.
Yeah. So to your point, I had somebody do that the other day. They cut me off, and I got so mad I almost ran them off the road. But I caught myself. I said, "What am I doing? Let them just go. Let them go." So they left.
It's not that deep.
Yeah, but see, that's the initial rage. So once you can get past that, it only lasts 10, 15 minutes, if that.
But you got your blood pressure. But you got your blood pressure up through the roof for no reason.
When you're in rush hour traffic, the rage doesn't stop.
I like the way that you phased it.
I'm gonna tell you why. Because even if you're cut off, let's say wherever you have to go, if it's 20 minutes, you're pretty much still going to get there in 20 minutes. But if you're in gridlock rush hour traffic, a 20-minute ride can turn into an hour and a half. Now imagine being trapped in the car, summertime,
hot, no air condition, broken.
And you're just stuck in, I'm talking about bumper to bumper traffic. Okay, what I don't understand is the people who make up these highways. Now, I'm talking about DC. So there's this part in DC where you're going 50 west, which is a 4-lane highway. And someone designed it to go down to 2 lanes.
That's these
what
people.
Are you thinking?
That's these minds make when they get paid big bucks to come up with something stupido like that.
And they're probably sitting back like, yeah, we got them.
I just got paid for this
stuff.
Yeah,
we stuck them in this gridlock traffic. So, and this is like as soon as you enter, it says, welcome to DC. So you know it's going to be a lot of traffic. You have these side streets. So all these streets are coming together in this 2-lane highway.
That's why I'm not driving to DC or New York City. If I'm going there, I'm riding, or if I'm taking the train or a bus.
Okay, so this is before I knew the train. So I had to go to school, which is in Virginia, and DC, and it's not as far as you think. But the stretch that I had to go was only like 20 minutes long.
Wow, and you probably 2 hours.
So when I went to school on the weekend, Saturday, nobody's out there. I can get there, boom, right there. Let it be a Tuesday. Oh my goodness.
It took you 2 hours to get there.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. No one lets you merge over.
No, because nobody's courteous nowadays.
You got your blinker. So if I'm on the right side of the highway, I can stick my head out the window and say, let me in. Or be a little aggressive, let me in. But if I'm on the other side where I can't stick my arm out the window and I got my blinker on, they're looking straight ahead. They don't give you no eye contact. I had my blinker on for a good 15 minutes. No one would let me in. Until you kind of have to merge yourself over, because if you don't, you're going to miss your turn.
Yeah.
And these people do not care.
No.
They don't care. And this is the worst thing too. So when you have a turn lane, so there's intersections, right? And it's almost like one too many intersections. You get into the turn lane and the light only lasts long enough for 2 cars to go through. So you get so enraged. People are so enraged that they start running red lights. So what happens? You go that too, but now you're blocking the intersection. So when the main street gets the green light, you can't move because all the cars that were trying to beat the red light are in the middle of the street.
Because they didn't want to wait at the red light.
Yeah.
So now you're not beating me. You're not getting in front of me. I don't get in front of you.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know who comes up with these plans.
Good ideas.
Yeah, the plans where you have a 4-lane highway that kind of goes down into 2 lanes. It doesn't make any sense to me. and you know you have all these side streets coming together. So make the turn light long enough for at least 6 or 7 cars to go through, not 2 cars.
I actually had something happen going to work one day. It was back-to-back traffic. I don't know why. It was just major traffic today. It was a woman alongside of me. I was in the wrong lane, so I had to get over off to the side. You know, when you go to where I used to work, and it's got off right there next to that restaurant right there. I don't want to mention that restaurant, but you know what I'm talking about. Where you got all look here in this right here, merge this way, then you can go in. Well, I was in the wrong lane, so I was like, I saw the woman that was right here in her car, and I just looked at her and I was like, can I get because my windows, I literally said like hand movement and everything. She read my lips and everything. I'm like, can I get over and over there in front of you? And she was like,
okay.
And then as the light turned green, I put my blinker on and she waited back and let me get in. Now that's common courtesy. That's what we should do because it eliminates traffic if you let other people in because of you not blocking up the intersection, and it's less hustle and bustle.
Yeah.
If human beings was more courteous like you and I and whoever else is out there, now everybody's bad, and just let them in, the traffic will minimize and go away.
It will.
But I got something for you there, and we talked about last week about the job that you worked for the other day. The other day you had this one supervisor, not the supervisor, but this one person that was training you that obviously doesn't like, is a little bit, that doesn't like you or like black men. I know
what?
The one, you know what we're talking about. That's the little hair with one of your coworkers, Cody. You remember that we was talking about that?
Okay.
Yeah,
fill me in with this.
You remember that we talked about off air last week? Will?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we got to talk about it, guys, because it was funny. It was like we was actually off air last week after the recording of last week's episode, and him and I was talking about it. It's funny, but it's not funny, but it's funny, and I just want to bring it up because I want to talk about it. So fill them in, RM. Fill them in.
Just imagine. I want to use a general term. I mean, I'm gonna give the real story, and then you could put it in a general sense. Mm-hmm. So I go to work, and I'm getting trained by a black lady, right? Mm-hmm. And it's myself. If you haven't noticed, I'm black, and I'm getting trained with a white guy. Now the black lady is all over my ass. I mean, all over it. I can do no right. I mean, there's certain people that they just wait for you to mess up so they can jump on you.
Yeah.
So I started noticing this when I would make a mistake and she'd be like, come on, what are you doing? But I'm embracing it. I'm like, okay, this is lighting a fire up under my ass. But what I did notice is the white guy was doing the same thing. Oh, it's okay. It'll get better. It'll get easier. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But let me do it. What the you suck.
Get out of here. You're fired.
So that's why I came, and you know what it reminded me of? Remember that Dave Chappelle skit of the black white supremacist? That's kind of what it reminded me of, because I'm like, this lady cannot be racist against black guys. She's black herself.
But she gets lost with other women, though, of all races, basically.
So it's just the black guys that she has a
she
problem
doesn't
with.
like.
Yeah,
especially, there was actually the break room one day where she was making candles.
No, it wasn't in the break room. This was on the floor.
This was on the floor?
On the floor, we had a little bit of downtime. And she goes on about her business, and she does candles, and she's looking off into the air, like kind of going over the types of candles she has. And she looks me dead in my face and doesn't say anything. Then looks to my coworker and says, "Would you like to buy some of my candles?" I'm like, this motherfucker. Looked me dead in my face and then asked me. I wasn't gonna buy them candles anyway.
You was interested. You was interested
because
she was talking about it until she gave you that look.
Okay, but this is the interesting thing about it. She would be nice at certain points with me. She was always nice with him. He could do no wrong.
She was feeding out of his hands.
Yeah.
She was in his butthole.
Exactly. But it would be episodes where she would be nice to me. I'm like, okay, maybe she's nope, sure enough.
Nope.
Right the next second, something crazy, you know what I'm saying? But I just found that it was interesting that you have a person.
It's funny. There's some comical to it.
But the general sense is sometimes people have internal issues that they have to deal with themselves, and it's not about you. Because I would go in there and I'm busting my tail, and you got something to say. Another person comes in and they really suck. You still got something to say. Then there's another person who's probably better than me, and you still got something to say. So it's not me. I'm not taking it personal.
You can't.
Yeah, it's something that, So if anybody comes to a situation where someone's treating you wrong and you've done nothing to them, don't take it personal.
You can't.
It's not you.
Nope.
It's on them.
Well, we're coming up on 50 minutes.
We are coming up on 50 minutes. It was something else that I said I was going to bring to the show if we had some time. I don't remember. But I do want to talk about Andrew Wiggins going to Golden State.
Yes, I like that trade for Golden State.
It is a good trade.
They just re-ramped the from tanking this year or sucking this year to maybe next year, the year after that being a juggernaut.
Yeah, and I believe they're tanking because I think Steph Curry could. Okay,
He's
you
injured.
call
He's
me,
out. He's out.
He's out.
Klay Thompson, they're probably going to shut down first of the year. They're going to have him get back this year. If so, probably 5 games if that. But why would you bring him back? You're not in the playoffs.
Let me ask you this question.
Go ahead.
Because we're conspiracy theorists, right?
Yeah, yep.
What is the probability for KD to get hurt, for Klay Thompson to get hurt, and for Steph Curry? All 3 of your stars. The role players didn't get hurt. How does all 3 of your stars get hurt?
So you trying to say is you think it was all an act?
What do you think?
Ooh.
Is that too much of a coincidence that all 3 of your stars?
But then there's no proof saying that they had surgeries done, though. Just he say, she said.
So I'm going to give you my take on
Ooh.
it. I think they knew. Kevin Durant even said it himself. He already knew he wasn't coming back to Golden State. I think the Warriors already knew Kevin Durant wasn't going to come back. So what's the best thing for us to do? Let's go ahead and tank. Now they got Andrew Wiggins. Now they're getting draft picks. And when Steph and Klay come back, they're going to have a pretty solid team.
But at the end of the day, so if the Nets knew about this scandal, why did they go along with it? Like, that's my question. Why would, because he signed with Brooklyn, so why would he would play this year?
I don't know.
You definitely, you threw a lot of money in him and Kyrie Irving, so why would you say, okay, he sits out, maybe, just because they're going with the act, and Kyrie, you take over this team, even though it could be a playoff juggernaut with 2 stars here, but instead we're going to have you sit out to go with that act that you did, and after we just throw your whole max deal.
Okay, so the conspiracy side of me says this, and I've seen this happen before. If you have a superstar, okay, we'll use Kevin Durant for an example.
Yep.
When he went to Golden State, the team was already set. They were already solid. And you're just dropping yourself into a team that's already established. So let me sign with Brooklyn and let Brooklyn go. Brooklyn's not doing bad now.
Not just for one superstar, but they have all this young talent around them.
But this is getting to my point. So
Yep.
Kevin Durant, and this is conspiracy again. I mean, it's speculation. Kevin Durant could sit out, let them find out how to win by themselves without me.
And Brooklyn backs him up on it.
That's what I'm saying. So let Brooklyn go out there and find out how to win, because Kyrie Irving, he's in and out. He's not consistently playing. Sometimes he plays, sometimes he doesn't. Okay, I know that's a different story. But let that young core go out and win games by themselves. So then when next year comes around, we already know how to win by ourselves. Now let's drop these 2
superstars,
and now you're going to be
a juggernaut. You're gonna go out and get Golden State running for their money, especially when they'll be better. New Orleans Pelicans are gonna be better with Zion Williamson and all the young studs there. Then you just have Utah Jazz that ain't never gonna go away.
Yeah. But I think that goes to my point. So if Kevin Durant came and played with Brooklyn, it would be a little. I think a lot of the pressure would be on Kevin Durant, which it should, because they're paying him that money.
Exactly.
So maybe I've heard things about when Kobe Bryant was playing with the Lakers. Sometimes some of the Lakers players would just sit back in awe and just watch Kobe go to work. Well, you're not going to win because one player can't win the game by themselves.
Team effort.
Right. So maybe it's the same thing. We got Kevin Durant. Oh, he's Finals MVP. Let's just let him go and do his thing. No. Show us that you can win. You have that team camaraderie. You're going to bust your ass, and then just put Kevin Durant in the mix with that.
And also, Klay Thompson, Steph Curry. This is my take on that. Golden State came to him and said, "Hey, we gotta fix some stuff here because we want this top pick. We like Lemo Ball or that Anthony kid that's coming out of college. Yeah, I need you guys to fake like you act. I need you guys to fake your injuries because we lost a couple bench players. We have Iguodala was a good bench player. We got Kevin Durant left us, guys. We're gonna suck booty. So we're gonna go ahead and tank so we can go ahead and do that. Then on top of that, we're gonna make a trade and bring in Andrew Wiggins to give us some pieces for next year. Plus we get draft picks out of it. So I need you guys to fake some injuries and be out for the rest of the season, and we just tank. And NBA is just like, whoop.
Now, for those listening, does this sound too far-fetched? Because this type of stuff has happened before.
It has, especially with the 76ers. That's why I think Sam Hinkie, the former GM, lost his job.
But in all sports, we've seen people. Oh, so here's another thing I forgot about. So there was a point in time. They probably still do this.
They do.
Well, listen to this. NBA officials have been caught shaving points.
Wow.
And I think even Michael Jordan was caught shaving points.
Wow.
To control the game. So who's to say for the betting? So if you can get into a situation, because I think NBA, you can do point spreads, and in other sports, there's probably point spreads too, right?
Obviously, yes.
Okay. So let's not score this many points so we can make money in the casino, and, then you might get some kickback. So who knows? Anything can happen in
it's the same with the Astros getting hit right now, like the Patriots did. They was caught stealing signs. But come on now. Hold on. You're getting mad at these players for having wiles on them. Because I get it's bad. I get it. I understand that. This is a different topic. That when Jose Altuve hit the game-winning home run against the Yankees, his teammates with the pretty much stripped that guy right on national TV. But he was like, as he comes to play, do not rip off my jersey. He's like saying, hey, I got like a wile underneath there. Then they're showing all this evidence of some of these players have wiles on them for cheating and stuff like that. But regardless if they are, you ain't telling me that you never done that before? Are you flipping things? All major league sports, major leagues, every professional sports that their teams cheat.
Yeah, I believe it.
They all cheat, believe it. And it's all rigged. So why again, I get why, because they got caught. Yeah. But I guarantee the major leagues, like behind the scenes, like we had to act like we had to punish you guys because it did come out. You trying to tell me that
same thing with Ray Rice and all those things that they know.
Thank you. Why in creation I guarantee you, any professional league sports know that the teams are cheating. How are you not going to know it's your league? How are you not going to know?
Yeah.
I think they know. They just have to act like they're doing something. Yeah. That's my conspiracy, and that thought is when it was a little changing off to the side, but that's how I feel it with what we got into point shaving.
Yeah.
So it's like I feel that's what that is. I feel that every professional league out there cheats. All the teams cheat. It's the point who can hide it the most.
Yeah.
And the Astros couldn't hide it because somebody snitched. A former Astro player snitched.
Right. Yeah, I remember talking about that. We were talking about like once you get to a certain place, because I think we were talking about Iguodala, and when you leave, you might have some bitterness. So I'm going to go ahead and
just spread your secrets.
Yeah,
like it's pretty much say spread your cheeks. Now I'm going to sit there and do something that I shouldn't do because I'm bitter.
Okay, so we're almost done. Yep. But to your point,